Hello, Frederick. Bucket of Rock here. It's October 27th, on the verge of Halloween, and the big Frankenstorm, aka Hurricane Sandy. Today we're in studio with Matt Cramer, a local singer-songwriter and recording artist. Matt, what do you think about Frankenstorm? Is it big hype or big concern?
It is definitely big hype.
Yeah, I agree. Most of these kinds of storms don't really affect Frederick as much as they predict.
They always predict much more.
Yeah.
Definitely just going to be a few showers.
Yeah, we do have to remember, though, last Halloween it actually snowed, so...
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. There's been some freaky Halloweens around here lately. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Frankenstorm, or whatever they're calling it this year. We're here to talk about Brick Wall Recording Studios, which is Matt's new endeavor. Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about your history in the local music scene?
My band, Life After You, has actually been playing around for the last couple years consistently, between Frederick and touring anywhere. And then that's actually kind of how this studio got started, just from finding other local bands that we were playing with that we really liked, that I wanted to be involved with.
Yeah, it always seems like it's, it's about, the music scenes are about helping other bands and friends that you like, and if you get together, and you can always do something greater with more parts than just the single person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how you got into recording in general, or?
Yeah, I'd been playing in bands. I think I started my first band when I was 13.
Okay.
And then we decided we wanted to record, and I was always fascinated with it, so I bought a little 4-track tape thing, and that's how I started, and it grew into a much nicer
Awesome.
thing.
So it was sort of necessity, but also curiosity as well, and interest.
Yeah, I knew I didn't want to work a desk job.
Yeah.
So, between music and, recording in the band.
Yeah. Well, isn't this sort of a desk job, though? You sit in front of a
Technically,
computer.
yeah.
So, yeah. But it's a way cooler desk job than most of us have, for sure. Why don't you tell us about why you decided to move to this new recording area? Because you had an old recording space, and then you just, literally as of today, I think you finally moved into this space.
Yeah, I think as of last night, we officially finished putting it together.
Yeah.
But we were just taking on bigger projects with bigger people involved. Like we have Caitlin, who's actually mixing with Mitch Easter, who did REM and Wilco and Ben Folds 5, and owns the Fidelatorium in North Carolina. And I just tracked some banjo and engineered for a Colin Healy record that's being mixed by Jack Puig, who did Lady Gaga, U2, Rolling Stones, Owl City. So we started taking on these bigger projects and kind of changing the way we record. So we just need a bigger space to fit everything in.
Yeah, and it's a great space too. You guys did a really nice job setting it up. Some really awesome equipment in here, and it's amazingly the only building in all of Frederick that has absolutely no windows, which makes it an uber perfect recording space.
Yeah.
So tell us about some of your local projects that you're working on.
Local artists right now, we actually have Caitlin coming back in to do another single. We have Silent Old Mountains, which my band plays with a whole lot. And then we have Affection for Reality, a local band. Just a few singer-songwriters also.
Okay.
And anyone I'm forgetting, I'll feel really bad about.
You do a variety of styles here?
Yeah, when I was buying the gear, I love just pretty much everything, music-wise. And from the old studio to this, we just picked up so much stuff. So I've actually done everything from your indie rock to, hip-hop. I co-wrote R&B and produced that as well.
Right.
Just pretty much anything I can get my hands on.
Yeah.
I want to do.
Great. Tell us a little bit about your unique approach to recording. Every recording artist has a certain way that they like to interact with the band. Some like to be really involved in the process, Others just like to be just kind of the man behind the curtain. Tell us about your approach.
I think it depends on who you're working with. When you have singer-songwriters, you have to be much more involved because they come in with just the root of the song, and then you as a producer have to figure out the drums, the bass, the guitars, organs, anything you add in.
Yeah.
And then with bands, they typically come in with a song already fleshed out and ready that they want, and then it's your job to, definitely throw your suggestions in to, add something as a producer. But it's also to make sure you're getting the best tones, the best, takes out of them. And I mean, for me, I'm more song-oriented than album-oriented.
Okay.
I want the song to be the best it can, even if it doesn't necessarily fit with the album. They wrote it that way for a reason.
Right.
So.
Interesting. So tell us about some of this awesome equipment that you have here in studio. What are your highlights here?
I am a huge vintage nerd. I love vintage gear, and I don't typically buy too much standard modern stuff. But some of the coolest things I have is I actually have a really old Executone compressor that just distorts things really heavily, which is really fun for drums.
Yeah.
I have a Master Room stereo spring reverb, which again is pretty old. But my absolute favorite is these big purple ones here.
Yeah, that's a pretty piece of equipment there.
That is an old all-tube Gates preamp. It's 2 channels. Those are kind of like the highlight of the gear I buy. Like, I found those and just got really excited about it.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, no text messages during our interview.
Turn it off.
I'm just joking. Yeah, there's some really great stuff. It looks like a really cozy space for artists to record. You even have like a full kitchen in here as well?
Yeah, we have a full kitchen back there. It definitely needed to be a cozy spot for us because, in a studio you tend to work anywhere from 8 to 16 hours a day.
Right.
So, you need somewhere to relax and, just do what you have to do so you don't go insane.
Right. Yeah, I know you just moved in, but what's your favorite late night snack here at the recording studio? Pizza and pretzel creations or sheets?
Well, see, I'm a pretzel. I love pretzels.
Yeah.
I like bread. So definitely pizza and pretzel creations. Yeah. And then the 2-second walk to coffee company doesn't hurt either.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But I guess they close relatively early though.
Yeah.
For recording an artist schedule.
Yes, they do. But get the coffee beforehand.
So tell us about some of the big stuff you have planned coming up.
We actually just kind of started figuring out how we're going to book in here and do all that. But me as a producer, I actually work alongside a nicer development company that kind of gets my bands to that. Which, we try and help with getting management deals or licensing deals, anything like that. But yeah, we're just kind of slowly figuring out exactly how this space is going to work at the moment.
Yeah, okay. Just settling in, I guess. Seeing how the dust settles, if you will.
Yeah, I say we have about 1 week of that, and then it's back to our 16-hour days and long work. So.
Okay. Well, how do people, if they're interested in recording with you or coming and visiting the studio, how should they contact you?
They can go through our Facebook, which is just facebook.com/brickwall recording. You can message us there, or we actually have a new website going up soon. That'll just be brickwallrecording.com. You can email us right off that, or you can just call Studio Straight, which is 240-626-9672.
Everybody got that? Okay, awesome. I mean, do you focus on local artists or any artist that's interested in coming to Frederick, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, our house engineers here, they'll kind of do whatever. I actually am I guess you could say, a little pickier.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I've worked with artists from California. I've worked with New York, Florida, Virginia, Pennsylvania, anywhere.
Right.
So.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think that's great that we finally have we have at least another recording studio here in Frederick, a very dedicated recording studio.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's definitely the home studio thing, which I think is great.
Yeah, that's huge around here.
We actually do a lot of work with home studios because we offer
Okay.
like editing for home studios and vocal
Oh, nice.
tuning and stuff. But we kind of wanted to take it a step above that.
Right.
Just so because there's not really a space like this in Frederick.
Right.
So we kind of just wanted to take that next step and offer, for the bands that are starting to grow more popularity, get budgets for records. We wanted to offer a space that could accommodate it, but still be reasonably priced.
Oh, okay.
So.
Yeah. Good. Is there any advice that you have for artists who may be thinking about recording that haven't recorded their anything yet?
I mean, definitely, it's always practice is the best thing before you get in. Make sure you're really tight. But for artists who have never recorded, it's actually very different everywhere you go. Our style of recording here is probably way different than the next guy.
Sure.
So really, you can just practice, get things as tight as you can, but they'll always change in the studio, and everything's different. So just, practice, get your part down. So if there are any changes, you can kind of mold to it faster.
Great, good advice. Well, that about wraps it up. Is there anything else you'd like to tell Frederick about your brand new studio?
It's awesome.
It is awesome.
Record here.
And it's located at 310 East 2nd Street in the fabulous Chabreau district. So, all right.
All right, yeah.
All right. Bye, Frederick.